Well, hey everybody, this Archeo Digger, getting back on the air after a long summer here. Everyone was kind of wondering where I was and what I was doing, and well, the truth of the matter is most summer there hasn't been any real interesting finds until right towards the end of the summer. What I have been doing, and I could show you this, I have been digging literally hundreds of coins. That's my unclean pile right there. My beautiful wife went and got me a rock tumbler, and I've been cleaning clad coins all summer. So this is the stuff for just the last probably about a week and a half here. There's probably several hundred of them there. But this, I don't know if you can see, let me zoom out. This, literally, there's probably 700-800 coins in there, and they turn out pretty nice once you put them through the rock tumbler with a little bit of that white aquarium rock. They turn out quite nice. As you can see, that stuff is very spendable. You know. So pretty much that's what I've been doing most of the summer. Found those 6 silver coins at the beginning of the season, and then things quieted down other than clad coins. So the 2 days before my wife and I go off to England, we're out at a ball field, local ball field that we'd been to before, and I decided to start gridding off the outfields on this on all the fields that I was doing there. There's 4 of them. So I did the southwest one, and hadn't been there about 10 minutes, and got this really high tone out in the outfield in about 30 feet from the gate, and it was pretty close to the surface, so I was using the Garrett Pro pointer and was able to get a signal right off the bat right on the surface. So I just dug a little, probably a 1.5 by 1.5 inch plug, and went and cut the plug and pulled the plug out, and my first gold ring. Look at that baby. It's an Irish clatter ring, which unfortunately my camera here is crap, so I can't do the macro and zoom in on it, show you the hallmarks, but it says made in Ireland, and it's 14K ring. And I've been told the heart-shaped stone in the center is a purple garnet. So that was real cool. That was just a few 2 or 3 days before we went on vacation, and so started vacation real nice. Had a great time over there. If anyone who's hasn't been over there, man, it is a blast. And if you're a detectorist, you see all those fields, your blood will just start boiling, trying to get into them fields. Everywhere you go, you say, "Oh, I can dig there, I can dig there." So that's great. And then, so after finding that, we went on our trip, came back, and decided I was getting stir crazy. 2 days after we got back, I decided I was going to go to this old homestead that we had already gotten previous permission to dig on, and had already been there a couple of times. And I'm out in the field, and I'm coming back. Shoot, we'd only got 1 coin out of the whole field. Well, on the field towards the back, there's what quote-unquote was called a chicken coop. Well, it didn't look like a chicken coop to me coming back from the west side. It actually looked like an old log cabin. So I'm over there swinging around the thing, thinking that maybe I could find some old coins around the west end entrance. Didn't find anything there. Went around to the east entrance, didn't find anything there. Went inside the east entrance, and now bear in mind, this thing's got a window on the south side, and the chicken manure and hay are within 2 inches of the bottom of the windowsill. So it had a lot of manure in there, probably about 2 feet of the stuff. And so I get about 5 feet in there, and I get this high tone. I'm going, oh gosh, that sounds like a silver quarter if there ever was one. And then my detector said it was down about 8 inches. So I get the shovel and I start digging, and I hear this clink mark, and I'm going, oh geez, I hit something, you know. So I back off a little bit and hear clink again. Back off one more time, back out about 2 inches, and then sink the shovel back down in, scoop it up and throw it up onto the pile, and out rolls, boom, this right here. And I go, huh, what the heck are they doing with a lead ingot in the chicken coop? That's awful odd. And so I kind of clean the thing off like this, and I'm looking at the ends. Now bear in mind, this is all tarnished. And I flip it over, and boom, look at this. I don't know if you could see that. That says right there, it says 0.999 plus fine, 10 ounces. And right over here, it says American Anglo Metals. It's a 10-ounce bar of silver. I found it in a chicken coop, people. Never rule out the chicken coop. From what we could tell, it's probably the one that got away. The old farmer that used to live there, he probably was stashing this stuff in there, and then before he passed, he told his relatives about it. And his relatives went out there, and they thought they'd gotten everything out of there, but they missed one. And here Doug comes along 30 years later, and look what he finds. So, man, I was just ecstatic. If you can hang on for a second, I got to go turn this heater off before it gets too loud. There we go. That's getting back to normal volume. So, that was a cool find. I mean, I think that's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Where else are you going to find something like that, you know? But we live here in Palmer, Alaska, and a little bit of our history here for Palmer is our colony got started way back in 1935, and it was a colony that was started by the U.S. government during the Depression days. What they wanted to do is they wanted to further develop an agricultural environment up here in Alaska in the Matanuska-Susitna Valley. So they went and got a bunch of people from the Wisconsin and I believe the Michigan area, and there might have been a few other states in there. But they basically got 2 shiploads of people and went and loaded them all up in Seattle after riding the dusty train all the way from their location to the West Coast, and hauled them all the way up here to Alaska in the Mat-Su Valley. And bear in mind, this was all just solid woods out here. There was no roads out here or anything. The only thing that came through here was a railhead, and that was it. So they started up a little colony here. And what they did, the federal government did to start off with, is they produced these colony coins. And the local nickname for them is Bengal coins or Bengal tokens. And they had the standard denominations from 1 cent, 5 cent, 10, 25, $50, and they also had, those were made out of aluminum, and then they also had a $5 and a $10 coin that were made out of brass. Now bear in mind, most of these, there was only about 5,000 each one of them, from what I understand, produced. Well, the colonists, they weren't they weren't real keen to that. They probably thought it was too much like a coal mining town where you could only spend your coal pay right there in the company store. So they weren't real thrilled with it, and they thought there were some improprieties going on. So they went and wrote a letter back to Washington, D.C., and told Washington, hey, we don't like this stuff. We think there's something funky going on with the local bank here. You guys need to send an auditor up here. So the federal government, they sent an auditor up, and the way the story goes is that they were at the local colony bank, which was also the trade store, and they did an audit, and there wasn't any results that actually came out from the audit, but the auditor automatically ordered that all the remaining coins that were in the vault be removed from the vault, and they took them out to a local river here, which was called Knik River, and they took them out into the middle of the bridge, and they dumped the remaining coins right in the river. So there's quite a few of them out there floating around down the river. I've never tried going on the river banks there, but that's going to be another trip for another day. But back to present time here. I was over at a farmer's field here today, and it's locally right here in Palmer. And this place here was in their potato field, which I just got permission to detect yesterday. And we're swinging around, me and my buddy, and come across this high signal, and lo and behold, look what pops out. And I know you can't see it real well. I'm going to post some still photos here along with the video. But what this is this is a 1935 1-cent Bengal colony coin. I could not believe it. It's in great shape. Yeah, it was a little tweaked, so I went and took my wood mallet and flattened it out a little bit. It didn't damage the coin anyway. Considering it looked like it probably got hooked on the corner there by a mower or something. But I had that on my bucket list, and I couldn't believe it. I talked to Butch, the property owner, just before we started detecting it. I said, you know, I'd really like to find one of them colony coins one of these days. And he said, well, yeah, you might find something like that around here. It's got the age for it. he was as surprised as I was at the end of the hunt when I called him up and said, hey, you might want to see this. So he's pretty pleased, and he says, yeah, you guys can come back whenever you want. You know, you can keep detecting as long as you want, as long as we don't have anything planted out there. So that's what's been going on this summer, folks. You know, I wish I had a lot more exciting finds. You know, I have to say I'm really pleased with what I've found so far this summer. We have just started this new lake shallows detecting, and my buddy, he's had real good success. We started about 2 weeks ago, and he's already come up with 1 silver and 1 gold ring and a bunch of coins out there, including a 1939 wheatback penny, which he found out of one of the local lakes there. And yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.